everyone, I'm the Vacuuminator.
I'm Buster.
And this week in Toku, we're going to be discussing Bandai's new low, the premiere of King-Ohger, and the most important question I will ever ask Buster. But first, the question I ask Buster every week. Buster, how you doing?
I'm scared of the third thing, but I'm doing pretty good until I heard that third thing.
Don't worry, it's good important.
Okay. I went out and got Burger King and also had a haircut and shaved, so that's good.
I mean, I like those second two things, but ew, Burger King.
I just was in the mood for burgers. My dad said, we can do Burger King, and I'm like, fine. Okay, it was a fine time.
If you can only afford like shitty fast food, I would much prefer like a McDonald's or a Wendy's over a Burger King.
Well,
just saying.
I know, but like McDonald's burgers are so damn small. I hate it. Like I need something filling, you know.
Fair enough.
That's
why you got to get the big boy, like the special promotion burgers. Those are always pretty.
I guess. What kind of burgers you eating today, Mr. Man?
I'm not. I had eggs for breakfast, and then I had a couple chicken fajitas for lunch, and I've been eating some crack chicken for dinner.
Sounds really nice, actually.
Mm-hmm. I'm really trying to stick to like the low fat, high protein foods right now because it's been very much on a health kick since the start of the year.
Yeah, that's good. It's nice. I think you're like probably like now that we're 3 months into this year. I think you're pretty like into like you're guaranteed to be healthy.
Yeah, I'm doing solid at it. I've discovered the key is to not be so concerned about dieting that like you're planning out cheat days and stuff like that, but just have the freedom to say, okay, I just had a week straight of eating healthy or a couple days straight of eating healthy even. I can have this one unhealthy thing this time and then nothing else today. Like the kind of psychotic like Instagram influencer planning out of your diet, that's actually not that mentally healthy. You wanna just be always thinking about going for the healthy option and give yourself the freedom to take the unhealthy option when it's presented to you. At least that's what works for me.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm. But anyways, that's diet talk. Welcome to our diet podcast, where we're gonna talk about dieting and being healthy.
Yeah, I mean, tokusatsu is a lot about athleticism, so, you know, those are some good tips.
Yeah, you want to be a suit actor, fucking eat your vegetables and your proteins and go to the gym every day, boys.
Yeah. And also subscribe to Modular Media, where we get for more random diet tips and random podcasts.
You gotta support the podcast if you like the podcast. Like, comment, subscribe, ring the bell. Check out the other shows on Modular Media. We got the No Prize, we got the components, we got the AF. It's all there. You'll like it all. Trust me, you'll like it all.
It has a Vac seal of approval.
Yeah, so just friggin' subscribe already if you haven't. But that's the intro stuff. We're done with that now. Let's get into the news. Our top story this week. There's a new Godzilla plushie coming from Bandai that is going to have a voice chip in it, and it's all chibi and cute, and it's nice as fucking. Neither of us are ever gonna buy this.
I mean, if it says I have a snake in my boot, maybe.
That would be amazing. That'd be like the greatest factory error of all time, I think, if that happened.
Speaking of factories.
Hiya Toys has done a full reveal and solicitation for their... What line is this supposed to be in? Exquisite Basics, Godzilla, King of the Monsters, Godzilla. This thing looks about how I thought it would. It's just a smaller SH Monsterarts Monsterverse Godzilla. It's almost the exact same articulation scheme. The sculpting looks very similar, and not really a whole lot to write home about, honestly. It looks nice. I'm not saying it looks bad. It's just not exciting because there's been like 80 fucking Monsterverse Godzillas, so I've seen this design as a toy plenty of times before, to the point where unless you're going to do something crazy different, like give it a bendy wire tail or something like that, which this doesn't have, it's a jointed tail, it's just not much you can do to excite me with this design as a toy anymore.
Yeah, it's a toy of a good Godzilla design from not a good movie.
Oh boy. Hey, you want shirts? You want your Godzilla shirts? You want your Power Ranger shirts? You want your Godzilla and Power Ranger shirts? Well, congratulations, boys and girls, because Atsuku shop, which I have never heard of until this came across my timeline this week, are doing some officially licensed Godzilla versus the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers t-shirts, that is basically the art from that comic book slapped on shirts. It looks fine, but just slapping art from a comic onto a shirt doesn't excite me that much anymore, especially when it is literally just like the PNG of the page, which is what this is doing.
Like, if it was like exciting art, maybe, but this isn't really exciting art. It's pretty basic.
I mean, one of the covers that they've got as a shirt here, I love that cover, but it doesn't work as just an image printed on a shirt.
Yeah. None of these are really like shirt poster worthy. So.
Yeah. Unfortunate, but what you gonna do? Hey, how about you buy some frickin' vinyl toys? Because Bandai solicited a bunch of new Godzilla vinyls, as well as a Ultraman vinyl. We've got King Ghidorah from the 1991 movie. We've got Baragon, based off of his 1965 appearance, and we got Edera, based on his 1966 appearance, and the Shin Ultraman Gomez design. I think this is the first time we've gotten a figure of this in any form. And it actually works pretty well as a vinyl for such a detailed design. I feel like they did an okay job of capturing it here.
Oh yeah, I'd love to have this. I know he was in the movie for like literally like 5 seconds, but like, come on, give it to me. I love Gomez. It's such a fun monster to me.
Yeah, and the others are nice too. If I ever want a vinyl toy of a lobster, I'll definitely look for that Edera.
Yeah, there's probably other vinyl toys of lobsters you can buy.
Yeah, I could probably just like go to fucking Target and find one in the actual children's toy section.
Well, speaking of children's toys,
hey, so Bandai has been doing this monster demolition puzzle series of figures for a little while now, and I haven't really paid too much attention to it. But just this last week, they announced that they are doing a Gomora set, which, if you're not familiar with this line, it's ostensibly a semi large figure of the character, kind of stylized, kind of put through like an animation filter, I would almost say. This looks like a cartoon design for Gomora. But the gimmick is you can take apart the torso and see the internal organs of it, and it's like a puzzle. You take it apart, and the challenge is to get it all back together the right way. And there's also clear parts for the side that comes off, so you can have sort of like a cross-section look if you want. This isn't really my kind of thing when it comes to merchant figures, but I do know that there's like a market for this, and it's cool that they're tapping into it with stuff like Ultraman now.
Yeah, it's like some operation type thing to me. It's cute.
Yeah. But let's get more into the adult collector realm of things, because we finally have another Decker Figuart, everybody. SH Figuarts Ultraman Decker Miracle Type got solicited in the last week, and yeah, it looks pretty good. It looks like a solid figure of that form. Some of the little spots on it might be a bit gappy because of the jointing for my taste, but this is a very thin suit with not a lot of armor elements to it, so I don't see how you could really get around that with Figuarts. And it looks very solid. The only real strike I would have against it is just like Miracle type is probably the least interesting of Decker's forms.
Yeah, it's just the basic blue speed form that a lot of Ultraman have these days.
I'd much prefer that they do a strong dynamic type.
Yeah,
Before
have they done strong type yet?
No, they've only done this in multi-type. Multi-type hasn't even released yet. I think it's pretty close to releasing though.
Yeah, I think some people have already gone multi-type, so I wouldn't. We'll see.
And alongside that, we've gotten full solicitations for the SH Monsterarts Gomora Free Revenge of Iris. We got a teaser image for this last week, and we kind of talked about how we have very differing opinions on this design. But now we have the full solicitations where you can see the promotional figures of everything it does and everything it comes with. And even though I don't love this design, I think they did a fantastic job of translating it to plastic. Like, the tendrils alone are a really cool feat of engineering, because I'm assuming it's just a bunch of ball-jointed segments like they do Godzilla's tail usually. And it looks like it came out really well.
Yeah, I especially love the figure photography of they have recreating scenes from the movie with versing Gamera and just him Iris on the moon. Oh, those are very pretty.
Yeah, looks like a fantastic figure. Is it $218 fantastic? I don't know. That's up to you, Gamera fans.
It's up to you, the consumer.
Now on to a bit of sad news that we have to cover, unfortunately. Folks, Japanese voice actors are just dropping like flies right now, and it's really unfortunate. But over this past week, Shozo Iizuka, a very prolific anime voice actor who tokusatsu fans will know as the original voice of Hokkaider and the voice of Gabara in Akamizer Free, passed away at the age of 84, I believe. 89, I'm sorry. And it was due to heart failure. We don't really know much else at this time, and we're probably not going to. As I usually say with these things, you don't get a lot of information on celebrity deaths out of Japan unless it's like a huge name over here. But obviously, this guy was a hugely talented individual that did a bunch of very notable work throughout his career, lived a full life, I would assume. And again, he was very old. He was 89. It's not like it's a huge tragedy, but it's still sad to see him go. And I hope his family is doing okay, and I hope that he is resting well.
Yeah, he voiced a lot of monsters recent, in just a bunch in Go Ranger and Jacker, just a lot of one-off monsters, and Denji Man. He's voiced a lot of one-off monsters throughout his entire career. He was even made some cameos in 2010's Rider films. He even was in Voice Luger, which is really cool, as Emperor Ganba, which I think was the character that got mooked halfway through. I think it was the final boss. Either way, yeah. So we got
hugely prolific guy, basically.
Yeah. So I hope his family will be able to recover and that he is resting well.
Yeah. All right, let's get back onto some more positive, hopeful, looking towards the future type news, because we have a trailer for Kamen Rider Outsiders Episode 2. And it's characters I don't know, and there's no subs. So this was completely unintelligible to me. It's cool that they're following up on the Kamen Rider arc shit finally, I guess.
Yeah, and Hirobi's apparently Kamen Rider arc, and Nico is just doing nothing, I guess. But Kamen Rider D-Sass, one of the coolest villains in Saber, and he gets to be a writer. And we get some more. Hopefully it's less recap. Because if it's just I don't know, Outsiders Episode 1 was just too much recap for my liking.
I actually wouldn't mind if this has a ton of recap, because I know nothing about Saber.
I can inform you, just for my sake, man.
You can give me the Modular University
lecture on
Saber lecture before I watch this 10-minute episode.
Yeah, and even then, they can. I think from the scenes I see, they can just use flashbacks, newly shot flashbacks, because there is a point. There is a lot of untapped time in Saber where like Kinzan and Desast were just vibing. So you could just make a new flashback there to just like still give a new viewer the idea without having to just use old stock footage.
Yeah. But no, it looks as okay as the other ones have before they released, so hopefully it'll turn out all right. We'll all know come April 9th though, so I guess be excited for that. Also a thing you can be excited for if you're so inclined. We got a trailer for the Juuga versus Olteca special, because remember that that's happening, everybody?
I'm excited.
Yeah, this does actually look really fun.
Yeah,
I love that they're playing it up as like genuinely verses, that they're even butting heads metatextually in the trailer.
Yeah, and we get to see we're gonna like two of the best characters in Revice. Like George is probably the best one, but Olteca was really good for what he could do. And yeah, it's gonna be very exciting. We get to see Kamen under Olteca. We get to see George shirtless. We get to see.
Yeah, all the lonely Japanese housewives are gonna want to watch this one, folks.
Yeah, but like it's also just like I love Juuga's suit, so to see more fights with it is very fun. And I just love George as a character, so just more of him. Just a little fun little thing to do.
Yeah, he's a good old boy. I like George. I'll definitely check this out. I want to see more George. So
we'll definitely be covering it whenever it gets subbed.
Now on to some stupid shit. So we've talked repeatedly on this show about how weird Bandai's handling of the ID cores for the DX Kamen Rider Geats line has been, because for those of you who aren't aware, for some reason, the ID cores are essentially a way to signify what rider the driver is. It's just a little chunk of plastic that you stick in the center that has the rider's logo on it, and it hits a button in the driver that makes it play the entry sound. And some of them have come as pack-ins with DX raise buckles. Some of them have been campaign items. Some of them have been exclusive to freaking magazines, because it's still 1992 in Japan, I guess. Well, now it gets even weirder, because Premium Bandai has announced the first two DX Kamen Rider Geats ID Core Voice Edition sets. These are essentially ID cores that have a little bit of electronics in them, so when you push them into the driver, it hits a button internally that plays a line by the character that ends in them saying transform from the show. There's going to be two of these. There is one set that comes with Geats and Tycoon's ID cores, and there's going to be a second set that comes with ID cores for Buffa and Nago, and I'm sure they're not going to stop there. Now, I've seen a lot of people theorizing in response to this that maybe this is how the ID cores were originally intended to be, but because of how much other shit the Geats driver does, it got priced out, and now this is their way of finally getting that concept out there. Doesn't matter, because it's a Premium Bandai exclusive for an item that a lot of people are gonna want, and it's just a stupid, extra, superfluous, expensive thing in an already crazy, complicated, and expensive line to get into when the show isn't even over yet.
I hate Bandai. That's all I got. It's like, man, just freaking. I hate all the Premium Bandai shit. I thought we were done with that. I thought it was just Revice was the anniversary season, but no. Apparently, we're gonna have even more Premium BD Band.
Yeah, the most positive thing I could possibly say about this is Team Rider will probably pick it up, so you can order it from your favorite online Western retailer. But god damn it, this is stupid. I actually hate this. I've already gotten to a point where there's just so much shit in the Geats roleplay line that I kind of don't ever want to dip my toes into it, because of how I'll never be able to complete it unless I sell a kidney. but this is just another log on that fire, and God, is it a red-hot, annoying one. Anyway, let's move on to Sentai news.
Hooray!
First up, you remember the frickin' Don Brothers, Noto perfume line? Well, that same company is doing a perfume line based off of Shinkenger. There's going to be a perfume for every major character in Shinkenger. That's all 6 main Shinkengers, Princess Shinkenred, and frickin' Juzo is getting a perfume. You know, the guy who looked like a frickin' homeless man and was probably very smelly and was a monster mash. You can smell like him now. Aren't you excited?
No.
Yeah.
I love Juzo, but like, come on.
This is just wacky. This is just like, as much as I don't like the whole like wacky Japan thing, this is very wacky Japan core, and like
just wacky merchandise core, I'd say.
Mm-hmm. But like, who in their right mind is gonna fork over to cash to get this whole line of thing just to like? You'd have to be like an insane Shinkenger completionist, I think.
Yeah, and like insane is the right word, because why would you consider perfume as a completionist?
Mm-hmm.
Come on.
It's wacky, it's out there, but another thing that is out there is Ryoko Gomi. If you're not familiar, Ryoko Gomi is a suit actress that has worked on many seasons of Super Sentai. She was the suit actress for the female Kyoryu Cyan, Toku,
Sango?
No, Sango is 2.
No,
Toku 4. Toku 4, the yellow one. Shiro Ninja, Kirame Green, female 2 Kaiser, Juo Shark, and Washi Pink, the Pink Ryu Soldier, the Pink Lupin Ranger. She is suit active for a lot of female characters in Sentai. And just this week, she announced that she is leaving JAE Productions, which is the company that all the suit actors for Toei are contracted under. She wrote a very nice, very thoughtful letter saying thank you to all the fans, and that she's not like retiring from suit acting, but she's going to be going on to something else. But basically, she's not going to be working on any Toei productions from here on out, and maybe not on any tokusatsu in general. Like, it's possible she could crop up again, but we'll see.
Well, actually, she's cropping up in a upcoming topic we're going to talk about, because she suit acted for Mako in Dagendra's High School, and she'll be returning to reprise suit acting that character in Dagendra's Metropolis. So, yeah.
Okay.
So, like, she's not done with suit acting, but, like, that might be one of her last roles. We'll see.
Yeah, she's just not suit acting for this company anymore, basically. But,
yeah.
Thank you for all your hard work, Gomi-san. Hopefully you have all the best of luck in your future endeavors. And speaking of future endeavors, it's King-Ohger launch week, everybody. And Bandai just fucking... They just came merch. They splooged merch all over
all right. We get
world.
It. We get it. You're
so
degenerate.
Much ridiculous merch stuff to talk about. We don't have to go in depth on any of this really, because like there's the basic toy line, some fun little side things they're doing. There's the mini pla for King-Ohger itself. There's a new dish at the Super Sentai Cafe, which actually does look really tasty now that I'm looking at it. There's a line of kids' clothing. There's a fucking bath scrub and lunchbox set. And there's the premium Bandai ultra expensive prop replica cosplay shit. Are you ready to pay $600 for a glorified leather strap, everybody?
No.
Yeah, me neither. This is all very silly, and I don't really have much to say about it. It exists.
Now, what we do have things to say...
We have behind-the-scenes photos from the first episode. The cast posted some cool selfies on the official social media, and Sony PCL Incorporated revealed that they are the company that is running the new volume technology, background LED projection stuff that they're doing for King-Ohger, and showed some behind the scenes photos of how that works. And wow, this shit looks very complicated and technical and beyond me, and I'm somebody who's been editing videos for over 10 years now.
Yeah, apparently this is the first one in Japan, so this is this is like a big step up for just Japanese like filming specifically. I mean, we've already had it in America thanks to the Disney Plus like Mandalorian show, but it's really cool that other countries are getting in on this because apparently this was a very expensive studio to make.
Yeah, and it's always nice to see Sentai and Rider trying to push forward the field of effects in Japan or cottoning on to new techniques. Like I remember getting really excited when they started using drone footage a couple of years ago.
Yeah, even if the drone footage was a bit nauseating at times.
Yeah. But yeah, that's really cool. I'm sure we're going to talk more about the effects once we actually get to the episode discussion, but nice that they put that out there, and also that there's a company that apparently made the technology that they based the King-Ohger cockpit apparatus off of, and they did a whole promotional hey, did you like seeing this in King-Ohger? Come to our demonstration that's happening soon. And this thing looks like a ridiculous monstrosity, but apparently it's actually a very fun piece of technology to mess around with.
Yeah, I think they might have given Toei some sponsor money, and they might have needed it because of the amount of money they're dumping into the effects for Gojo. So
yeah, it seems like another. It could be. I don't want to say it. It definitely is, but it probably is another situation like the frickin' robot dog that was in 01 and the hover bike that was in Revice.
For 2 seconds.
Oh, that fucking thing makes me so annoyed. Anyway, let's talk about other stuff that makes me annoyed. So Hasbro has posted a new job listing for their executive levels, and that is that they are looking for a new marketing and brand manager for Power Rangers and Fortnite. They're looking for somebody who can cover both brands for them. And I was planning to come in and do a little rant about this and be like, why are you making somebody manage both these brands when they're very tonally dissonant and it doesn't make a lot of sense? What the heck is John Warden doing if he's not the brand manager for Power Rangers? Because that's what I thought his job title was. But I actually spoke about this today with Toku Chris, who I got to meet in person for the first time today because he was selling something I wanted. So we realized we were in the same area and decided to meet up in person to do that, and ended up just chatting for an hour afterwards. And one of the things we talked about is some of the confusion about what's going on with the Power Rangers stuff at Hasbro right now. And one of he told me a lot of stuff that I can't say in public because it was all told to him in confidence. But one thing he did tell me that most people should know, but it's not really said loudly enough by Hasbro. John Warden isn't the brand manager for Power Rangers. He is a brand coordinator for Power Rangers and all of their licensed properties. So, yes, he is technically the boss of the Power Rangers toy stuff, but he's also technically the boss of Marvel, Star Wars, Fortnite, and Indiana Jones. So he is spread very thin, and that's probably why we haven't seen him very much on the fan streams, and that's probably why they're now trying to hire somebody to take over Power Rangers and Fortnite for him.
Yeah. And I guess because Power Rangers and Fortnite are both appealing to kids and younger demographics, so they're hey, both of them could be in one or something like that. Mm-hmm. Well, that's a very bulky job description. You gotta manage a multiplayer online action figure line, and then you also gotta manage Power Rangers, which is trying to find its footing again.
Mm-hmm. But also, Fortnite as a toy line does tend to be fairly low maintenance because they don't even Hasbro revealing stuff ahead of time. Epic has this whole thing where they're yeah, don't reveal stuff. We want people to just find stuff in stores and get excited about it naturally. And that has worked. but it's also very weird in the modern landscape where toys are marketed online way in advance to high hell.
Yeah, and like I kind of get it with like Fortnite because like every reveal is so big, but like these aren't crossovers like for freaking Dragon Ball like the Fortnite game has. This is like original characters getting figures, so it's like what's going on there? I don't know.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, that's a thing. And I guess like if anybody listening to this podcast on the very off chance has some executive level experience, maybe go try and apply for it. See if you can do some good for Power Rangers and get people to stop freaking out every 2 to 3 months. But also like there's just not much to say aside from like the breaking down how things work. I love knowing that stuff like this exists, but I don't really have like much to say because I don't have any executive level experience. But what I do have experience with is dumb fucking licensed shit. So a company called Tubes, which is essentially, I can't believe it's not Funko. Is has the MMPR license now, and they're doing a MMPR subline in their I can't believe it's not Pops line, cosplay ducks. It's literally just Funko Pops, but if they were ducks. And now it's that, but also if they were the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. These look fucking stupid and they're overpriced. I am never getting these.
Same. And I also hate that like blue and red have their weapons, but pink doesn't. She's just doing a pose. What the?
Wow. The sexism is real.
Yeah. The sexism is back, baby. I don't know.
That's the title now. That's the title.
Oh, no, I don't read it that way.
Oh, man.
This guy, he's gonna... I think Vac's gonna cancel me before I can even cancel him.
Hey, I've almost canceled myself like a half dozen times this year alone, so don't worry about it.
Yeah.
But what you should be worried about is the Lightning Collection. We have a new Lightning Collection leak fresh from Living Ranger Key, Lightning Fig PR, Toku Topics, Josh Boy. He is corroborating some information that the Illuminerdi leaked, which is that the upcoming Deluxe Wild Force Red Ranger is not that Ranger and a vehicle as we originally thought, but it's actually a Battleizer version of the Wild Force Red Ranger. And this has led to some rampant speculation because Josh also says that like because of how much unique sculpting it's going to require to do the Battleizer parts, there's not going to be a Cole head. So people are like, oh, they're doing this and they're never going to give us a regular Cole because Ricardo Medina did what he did. I don't think that's the case. I think they're just testing the waters for if Battleizers can be a thing in the Lightning Collection, and we'll probably get a regular Cole in a main wave down the line at some point. And honestly, I'm fine with that because Battleizers are a very cool Power Rangers exclusive concept, so it makes sense to bring them to the Lightning Collection at some point. And it's kind of weird that they're not doing the first one in the show first, but they are doing one of the better ones first. I actually really like the Wild Force Battleizers, so I'm undecided if I'll pick this up, because I've said before I want to have every red in the Lightning Collection, but I don't know if that extends to power-ups as well. I have to think about that, and I also have to see what it looks like when it gets revealed. And Buster, you don't give a shit about this, right?
I actually do give a shit about this, because I'm like, I like Battleizers. They're really cool. I don't see. Look, I don't give a shit about like some things, but I do give a shit about other things. Okay, I'm a very multifaceted fella. But like, yeah, I am excited for the potential of just doing a line of Battleizers. I kind of hope they do Max Ryusoul or Dino Knight, Dino Fury. I know that's a Japanese design, but still, that's one of my favorite designs ever. So please do that.
Yeah, it's a great suit.
Yeah,
I'd like that. I'd also like the freaking SPD Battleizer.
I want the Overdrive Battleizer.
Not the Overdrive Battleizer. I don't like.
Screw you.
Hashtag. Let's get it trending, people. Hashtag Battlefong in the Lightning Collection.
Oh. This guy.
I'm a funny man.
So you say. Can we move on?
Yeah, let's move on to some fandom drama. Oh, isn't this always the best thing? So, we weren't going to address it on the we weren't going to talk about the release on the show because it really felt weird and unnecessary that we talked about it with the Beast Morphers one, but Linkara released his History of Power Rangers on Dino Fury, and I've already watched it and I thought it was all right. But there were some annoying things about it. One of which was he kept trying to push the idea that it makes no sense that Beast Morphers took place in the main PRU, and thusly it makes no sense that Dino Fury is supposed to take place in the main PRU. And it's like a thing all throughout the video, and it's just him going, like, his reasoning is really weird. He keeps saying stuff like, it makes no sense, like, if it's in the main if it's not in the main universe, why did they have to summon Jason with a morphing grid portal? I don't know, dude. Maybe he was off-world or across country or something? Yeah, they don't explain that in the show, but, like, it doesn't necessarily say that it's a different universe. And I found that very annoying while watching the episode. And apparently Simon Bennett did too, because Simon Bennett freaking left a comment on the video, and I'm gonna just read it off verbatim here. Two tiny fun facts. One, in my and the writers' heads, Dino Fury is in the same universe as Beast Morphers. The only other universe seasons are RPM and Dino Charge. Basically saying the main PRU is every season except those two, even if it doesn't make sense to you. And two, the original Dino Fury theme song did not have Go-Go Power Rangers in it. It was added at the last minute at the request of Hasbro Brand, who felt that like it's morphin, who felt that, and I'm assuming he forgot to put an and here, like it's things like it's morphing time, it is a key part of the brand. The stipulation about Go-Go Power Rangers has changed now, as the people who were there at the time have since moved on. Which is pretty interesting to see that get clarified in that way.
Also, like I just realized everything just clicked. This is kind of a huge thing. Like the second thing, because we've had, like, It's Morphin Time since Samurai in 2011. Like, a decade of, like, all that shit. Like, Go-Go Power Rangers having to be the theme song. Are we?
And that's gone?
Yeah, it's gone. And I'm not sure if they want to keep it. Maybe they will. Are we just...
I was thinking that Cosmic Fury was just going to be, like, a slightly tweaked version of the Dino Fury theme. But now I'm thinking we might get a whole new theme.
Yeah, I mean, maybe that's like a beta theme they just whipped up for like the reveal when they because when they did that like remixed. Maybe it's gonna be an extended version, because a big part of the Dino Fury theme for me is like, oh, there's like an idea there, but it needed to be a minute, you know?
Yeah, it's too short.
Yeah, like it has some raw shit, but like it's too short.
Mm-hmm. And also just like props to Simon Bennett to take the time out of his day to shut down some like misinformation that was going around the fandom, and B, not be a dick about it. Like the way he's saying this is very like a calm, tongue-in-cheek, just let me explain how this actually works without calling Lewis an idiot, as I was doing several times in my head while watching the video.
Yeah, he's a chill guy, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Like, say what you will about some of like his policies, but like, you know, he's chill. Like, he's not really a bad, unless something comes out, I don't think he's like a trash guy, as some people want to paint him as.
Yeah, Simon Bennett seems like a chill guy, and even though I have problems with the way Lewis does his content and stuff with History of Power Rangers sometimes, I'm sure Lewis is a perfectly nice guy. Whenever he does content that's just him talking calmly about himself, like his PO unboxing videos or anything like that, he comes off as a pretty decent guy. So, like, no ill will towards him, just he got it wrong and Simon Bennett came in to correct him.
Yeah, and it did reveal kind of a big whoa moment, you know?
Mm-hmm. But hey, here's another big whoa moment for you, because we have more behind the scenes photos from Power Rangers Once and Always. We're gonna be able to piece together this whole goddamn special before it even comes out at this rate. Because Catherine Sutherland posted on her Instagram a photo of the team getting ready to morph, including the actress playing Min. So it's basically confirmed that Min is going to be the new Yellow Ranger in this special, which is pretty exciting.
Yeah. I mean, I kind of already figured, but yeah.
Yeah.
All right, baby. It's time. It's time to get into some peak, some raw, some kino.
Okay, here we go. So Buster, I'm just gonna let you go off because this isn't my thing and I don't know very much about it, but also I do have something to say at the end. So just go off for a couple minutes and then let me know when you're done.
All right. Dogenger's Metropolis, the 4th season of the hit indie tokusatsu series, has had its press conference. We got lots of stuff. So there's gonna be the episodes are gonna be a bit longer because of a new time slot. So instead of 19-minute episodes, I presume it'll be like 25 or 22, much closer to like actual. And like I do prefer the shorter episodes of Dogenger's, but like it'll be nice to get like a bit more punched in. The whole cast of Season 3 will be returning, so basically everyone that was featured, all the local heroes featured in Season 3, they were joining. And there's for the new protagonist for Season 4, because if you don't know, while everyone returns for each Dogenger season, each season focuses on a new protagonist or focus character. And we have Jake's actor from Kamen Under Forze, Shinyu Takushi, playing Meguro Shirashi, a special duty police Hayuka Toban. Oh man, I'm sorry, I'm just so excited. I'm becoming Vac.
It looks like a nicer version of RoboCop.
Is that all you have to say?
About the suit?
Oh, okay, yeah. Just wondering. The series will be director by Noboru Suzumura, who directed Season 3 and half of Season 2. And also, freaking, like, Akira from Changeron and Asakura's actor for Kamen Rider Ryuki, Takashi Hagino, is going to be playing a character called Tadasubi Akuta, which he looks a bit villainous, but also like a detective, so who knows. I literally this happened the day I watched a shitty tokusatsu with him called Evolver. I don't want to talk about it because it was really bad, and I'm going to make a video on it later. But
yeah, I saw you tweeting about it. It didn't look fun.
Yeah, it was might be the worst tokusatsu I've watched. Just a couple more cast members. There will be some special guests. Kegalissa from Go-Onger, actress, Nao Okuwa. Risa Takuchi from New Japan Pro Wrestling. And a secret person with the initials TS. No, it's not Seiji Takaiwa, though he did cameo in Nice Buddy, the 2nd season. Bunch of returning voice actors. But we have VTubers voicing a couple of the new villains. Omoru Polka from Hololive will be voicing Yuzu, and Arugama Oga from Holostars will be voicing a villain called Hatina. Returning suit actors, the theme song Metropolis, Dogengers, will be performed by Fuki, while there will be a new version of Season 3's ending theme called We Love You Dogengers, Metropolis version, performed by Asuka Kozuka. And yeah, they also have a trailer at the bottom. It's very exciting, very exciting. What do you have to say about this, Vac?
So here's my very important question. Buster, as a Dogengers fan, as a Dogengers expert, as a Dogengers connoisseur, because I know we're going to want to cover this, or you're going to want to cover this as week to week as the subs will allow on TWIT. Do you think this season looks like something I can just jump into, or would I have to have seen all the previous seasons?
Okay, now every season is pretty standalone story. But like there is returning character. It's kind of like maybe you can jump into it, but I would recommend going like to the past season so you can appreciate the character growth more.
Mm-hmm. I do want to eventually watch the older ones, but I just don't have time right now. But like if you're gonna do it week to week on TWIT, I'm kind of tempted to just finally jump in because I like the designs of the new characters.
That's fair. Yeah, I think this will be an interesting experience. You can go in blind and like get like a taste of this world, and like because High School and Nice Buddy, while being sequels to those like seasons, like the first show, those were still relatively standalone stories. So yeah, I'd say go for it. If you want to like watch it without, I mean, there's only 39 episodes to catch up on. Like in each season's only 12 episodes.
Do you know if anyone's committed to subbing it yet?
Haunted Gagaga Scrubs will be handling it. The guys who did the trailer.
Okay, all right. I wasn't sure if they were gonna or they just subbed the trailer to make sure it got subbed, or if they were like committing to the show. But yeah. Oh no! It literally says they'll be handling it in their tweet of the trailer. I'm an idiot. Yeah, so I'm gonna go follow them right now.
Yeah, and I can give you a link if you want to catch up if you have time.
Mm-hmm. Oh, we'll figure something out. Don't worry. It's gonna. Fuck it. It's confirmed. I'm watching this season of Dog Enders. Everybody, it finally got me.
Hooray!
Now on to something that didn't get me, or at least I didn't get. A Hollywood actress lady who I've never heard of before, but has apparently been in things I've seen, named Jennifer Coolidge, did a tokusatsu-themed photo shoot with W Magazine. And it's very goofy, but also very earnest looking. Like, it doesn't look like she's making fun of tokusatsu. It seems like she's celebrating it in her own style, and it's honestly kind of cool. I don't have anything like really insightful to say here, except just like, yeah, these are some neat photos.
Yeah, the directors of Everything Everywhere All at Once, the Daniels, actually apparently helped make this shoot possible. So kudos.
Oh, nice.
I hope they get the Best Picture win.
Yeah. Also, if we don't mention it, somebody will annoy us for not saying it. Oh lol, the fake Sentai team from this, the Pink Ranger, is literally just Time Force Pink with a different helmet.
And also has the Kamen Rider 1 Tycoon. But it's just fun. That's just fun usage. And that's like Tokusatsu like has kit bashes. So that's just in the spirit.
Yeah, I could see that cropping up in a random episode of stuff Toei makes, but hey, let's talk about some not so random episodes of things Toei makes, because that's all the news that's fit to print. So Buster, take us on to the new releases.
Kamen Rider Geats, episode 25. We're at the halfway point now, fellas. Lamination 1, Jamato Grand Prix.
This episode fucks.
Oh yeah, this was good.
There was, this felt like a second pilot, really. Because so much new stuff gets introduced here. And we get, an updated intro. And a lot of the characters are, in a very different place than they have been. And it picks up, it feels like a day or two after the end of the last episode, actually. But in, a cool way. Not in a, well, damn it, I wanted to see how that got resolved way.
Yeah.
And there's some really oh wow, oh geez kind of revelations about certain characters. Michinaga. He's not one of my favorite characters ever, but I feel bad for him at the moment.
Yeah, freaking dude got his best friend copied by Jamato.
And he's just going along with it. He is just chugging that Kool-Aid right down, and I'm like, this is not going to end well for you, buddy. You're going to get Kaito'd.
Yeah, or some shit. I don't know what's going to happen. Yeah. And also, we get to see more interactions between, now that the producers, investors? I forgot what
the supporters.
Supporters are going into the fight now. They're interacting more with their, writers that they're supporting. So that's fun.
So you saw that tweet I made, right?
Oh yeah, about the one with Zin and Geats.
Right at the beginning of the episode, there's a scene of Jean and Geats talking about the stuff that happened between episodes to catch us up to speed, and there's just a wide shot of them on the freaking couch in Jean's supporter room, where they're sitting 5 feet apart with a pillow between them. And Jean's got his arms back he's trying to relax. Well, Geats has his arms folded and he's freaking man-spreading. And I'm like, this is the most, I swear they're not gay, single frame of anything I have ever seen in my life.
And you just watched Dawn Brothers.
I just watched Double.
That too.
Yeah, I had to pause the episode because as soon as it cut to that shot, I just started cackling. Yeah,
it's good shit. Some fun action. We get to see Buffa use Twin Command, which adds a bit more value to that toy.
Mm-hmm. And Neon uses frickin' Zombie. And it actually looks kind of cool with her helmet.
Unfortunately, she sucks with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, Neon hasn't had really like a big like whoa moment since Beats' debut. Unfortunately,
Yeah, this is fucking the action has mostly been like showcasing Geats in the last few
yeah.
episodes. So I would like them to give the other guys something cool to do. Like I know we're about to introduce a new power up for Geats, but after that, how about we give your boy Kawa and your girl Neon something to do?
Yeah, come on, Toei, don't treat them like the butt monkeys.
Even though they kind of are.
Yeah.
Because, friggin' Neon gets one scene where she interacts with her supporter without knowing who it is again. And that scene was very cute. I actually really liked that scene. But then there's just nothing for Kawa. Like, this is an episode about, like, that has a filler kid who's got an issue of the week or an issue of the fortnight that's gonna have to get resolved. But it's all that part of the plot is given to Geats. Even though that seems like something that would normally go to Kawa. He kind of got the shaft this week, in my opinion.
I mean, I guess because this is like the first part in a power-up debut for Geats, so but like still, yeah.
Mm-hmm. And I mean, like, the kid does have a problem that would more that Geats would be more inclined to get invested in, because his mom is in a coma and he just wants his mom to come back. Like, Geats just wants to find his mom. So, like, thematically it makes sense, but just like there's so much focus for Buffa and Geats in this episode, and there's like a little bit for Nago, and Tycoon's just sitting there like, my ninja buckle isn't even cool anymore. I can't fucking do shit against these big boy Jamatos.
Yeah, I hope like after the Boost Mark II arc, we get Neon, not Neon. Well, but yes, Neon, but like Tycoon and Neon can get some stuff to do.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just more of like that we've kind of been focusing on the plot and Buffa and Ace for so long. We kind of could give some food to the other characters, please.
Yeah, and I mean, like, there's a ton going on in this episode, so, like, while I am upset about it, it's understandable that they made that choice to not spend any time on Tycoon this episode, especially because we also get another massive lore drop this episode in that, oh my god, Boingo was right. Neon is a frickin' wish baby.
What do you mean? Oh, you mean like Time Fire wished her into existence?
That's literally what they say in that scene, is like the reason he's he's played the DGP before and his wish was to have a daughter.
Oh.
And that's probably how he met the bodyguard dudes.
Yeah. Oh.
And
so, we already know
they
Tom
also
Constantine.
say that like he's doing a freaking smokescreen government cover-up to keep people from finding out about the Jamato in general.
Whoa. And we already know Tom Constantine is coming back as the bodyguard next week, so it's like, oh.
Yeah.
Shit's about to hit the fan.
Like we thought, I think everybody kind of assumed that he would be a significant character at some point when they announced his casting. But man, they really took their time with that, and I'm kind of glad they did, because I literally, like, when all that information got dropped during that scene, I was like, what? Oh my god, Chris was right. Holy shit.
Boingo knows. He's Yu Yu Takahashi in secret.
I mean, I think Boingo said that he thought it was the mom who made the wish, but like it's still essentially the same thing.
Yeah, it's wild, man.
Yeah, so props to Boingo. Everybody go watch Gateway to Geats and tell Boingo that it's awesome that he called that.
Yeah. So I think that's all we gotta say. The Jamato Grand Prix, it's basically just the Jamato hunting down the riders and doing shit.
Yeah, it's a more straightforward war between two factions like you usually get in Rider now.
Yeah. Also, Nudge Sparrow's still alive.
Yeah, he's just chilling out. He's not gonna interfere in anything. He swears. Totally, guys.
Doubt, man. Okay, buddy. Okay. Doubt. Okay, buddy. Okay. Yeah, that's good, Geats. Just like, we vibing with Geats. Alright. Do Sentai time?
Well, let's do it.
Alright. Osama Sentai King-Ohger, episode 1. I am the king.
This episode was a lot. Like, it was a good lot, but it was a lot.
It was kind of like, I can see why some people are saying, "Oh, we're back to basics after Dawn Butters," but like it still has like a lot of world building shit in it. So
No, this is not basics at all, because this is a Sentai that takes place in an entirely fictional fantasy world with all this like specific weird names for shit that I'm never gonna be able to pronounce unless I hear somebody else say it in a YouTube video.
mood.
Like I have most of the character names down because we've been talking about that for a few weeks now, but like every 2 seconds, like there is a title on screen of like, we're here now and we're in this specific part of it and we're looking at this thing and this character, and I'm just like, are you expecting me to pause the episode and memorize this shit? Wow.
Imagine watching this live.
Also, there is so much CGI in this episode.
I'm a bit mixed on it because it's on one hand it's well rendered CGI and it's like the volume green screen makes
it's
it blend
well rendered
in.
for Toei, because like they are clearly pushing their CGI budget to the absolute limit, and there are a couple shots where I was like, oh, that mecha's chugging. That's chugging right there. Look at that.
Yeah, it is very much like, oh, this is the best we can do, and it's like it looks nice at times, especially like the mecha fight later on.
Oh, the friggin' mecha fight was amazing. I would be willing to say it's the best mecha fight I've ever seen. Now there might be better ones out there I haven't seen yet, but it's the best one I've seen. Like just
best
the
one
fact
for
that they
Tokusatsu.
just the well, that's inherent, but like just the fact that like they had this huge wide open set on the level that like I don't think I've seen since Ryusoldier episode 1, with all these little fantasy buildings and all these different things happening to them and these crazy low angle shots and all this environment destruction that we haven't gotten for Sentai in a minute. Oh god, it was beautiful, both in its design and direction. Like,
and hey, same director as Ryusoldier episode 1. You gotta keep that in mind.
Hey, maybe the Toei, maybe keep this man on retainer from now on.
I mean, he is the head director of the show, Kazuya Kamurocho.
Good.
Yes.
Oh, we're gonna get more. Oh boy.
I hope this isn't just an episode 1 thing, but I think with how emphasis, we're gonna get at least a first arc worth of great mecha fights. So yeah.
Yeah, I like it's a very different thing to have the whole plot of the first episode centered around the conflict of getting the main mecha together.
Yeah,
because there's very little characterization for most of the team in this. It's pretty much just like you get a little bit about Gira to show him becoming the Red. And I'm just gonna say straight up, because of how much like specific weird terminology there is in this, I might just be saying the red, the yellow for this year. But him becoming the Red and like his conflict with the actual king of his kingdom is the main thrust of the episode's narrative. But also like there's so much establishing of lore and locations in this that it in and of itself that kind of feels like a minor element of the episode. And the other King-Ohgers really just get like minor 1 or 2 line characterization in this. I think we're not really going to get to know these characters too well until we're out of the initial batch of focus episodes.
well, I think like the focus episodes will flesh them out a bit more. Like this is like the press conference worth of personality we got, and I think Gira, we're pretty confident with his shtick.
Yeah.
And also, his actor did a great job at this.
Oh, yeah, there was some incredible acting in this episode. From him, from the guy playing the actual king, from some of the other King-Ohgers. They got some nice little moments like, I'm just gonna, I'm not to be too in your face about it, but yeah, I'm still feeling very confident about my claim to Kamakiri-Ohger.
Yeah, I mean, like, she was fun in this episode. Rita did some good shit. The Black Ranger, I forgot his name.
Yeah, he definitely got the least characterization in this episode, but the one moment he did get was kind of fun.
Yeah, and Blue doesn't transform, but he has, like, we get a pretty good grasp of, like, his philosophies already, and we're gonna get that expanded more next time.
He seems to be, like, the most progressive and rebellious member of the team, even compared to Gira.
I mean, we already know from the press conference, like, info that, like, he used to be an orphan, so... You know, like, even though they're gonna conflict, I think they're gonna gel.
And he lives in like a tech kingdom that's run by friggin' influencers.
Yeah, and like that. I think a lot of the show will take place in that kingdom because from the little preview we saw, there's gonna be like real location shots there. So I think that's gonna be
that was the other thing with this episode is there's almost no location shooting, and I was kind of blown away by that.
Yeah, it's mostly computer generated volume graphics.
And I assume they're probably going to try and do that for most of the show, but I wouldn't be surprised if like the next filming block's worth of episodes take place in Blue's Kingdom because it's a more technologically advanced one, and they can get away with just shooting on the streets of Tokyo for that.
Yeah. But like, yeah, they're really going like hard with like the like fantasy aspects of it. It's really fun. It's like, and I hope like I think like each episode from here on out for like the focus arcs, like to like establishment arcs, will like take place in a different kingdom, so we can like get like a bit of like taste of each philosophy, and maybe they're gonna use that to like, okay, what Toei and the executives are gonna use that, like which kingdom should we spend more time in if audiences react well to one kingdom over the other,
Yeah, I would be down for that, especially because like Rita's kingdom, it doesn't look like there's anybody but her and her aide living there. So I'd like to know what life in that kingdom is actually like if there are other people.
Yeah, if it's just like Igloo City or some shit.
But yeah, really strong first episode, just in terms of like world building and effects. And there's some solid acting and characterization. I wouldn't say like I'm in love with this show just yet, but like this is a very solid premiere for a Sentai show, and I'm feeling fairly confident about it going forward. I'm looking forward to seeing what next week's episode brings.
Same. I really like Gira's moment where he proclaims that like to the king who's like trying to screw over the other kingdoms, like if you're justice, then I am evil. Because this entire thing is he played like evil king with his friends.
Also, he friggin' runs an orphanage. We have a Red Ranger that's like a dad to a bunch of orphans. That's awesome.
Yeah, and like his freaking like philosophies like is very like, oh yeah, this shit's cool. I really hope they don't screw it up because like I feel like because some people were pitching that the evil king could get redeemed. I think that might be a bad idea because that's literally him being the evil king being a bastard is the entire reason for Gira taking up arms. So it's like
I could see that working, but I think it's also going to take a lot of legwork writing wise.
Yeah, it's gonna take time. It's gonna take like some serious like you're going to need to do some shit like in order to justify that idea. But like, yeah, I really liked that scene was really good. It really sold me on Gira as a character. And like it was pretty I really like the henshin sequence. I think they're all gonna be on location henshin sequences for this season. I could be wrong, but like I do like the idea of like, oh, they get crystallized as like a mosquito bug would, and then like the bug rams into them to form the suit. That's fun.
Yeah, that part of it is cool. I'm not sure I'm in love with the fact that he has to hit like 8 buttons on the frickin' sword to make the mecha happen.
I think that was just turning him into red, I think. Because like here's what I'm thinking, I could be wrong. Because each button on the sword corresponds to each ranger. I think the red one actually corresponds to silver in the show. Because we already know silver is confirmed, it is a repaint of red. That's just how I'm thinking. I could be completely wrong.
Oh man, I wonder how long it's going to take to see that suit. Because I would assume that's happening fairly soon, and I want to see how it happened. Oh man, what if the king is like, oh, he's hiding in another kingdom? Well, I'm going to friggin' go after him, and I've made my own fucking bootleg sword, and I'm going to transform and fight him.
Yeah, it might be a premium Bandai sword. We'll see.
Yeah.
Yeah, solid premiere, good fights, some really good effects work. Especially people were comparing this to like Subaraya effects work, and I could see it.
Yeah, especially with that mecha fight, there were some of those shots that I was like, that looks almost as good as some of the stuff in Decker.
Yeah, it's good shit, But like, yeah, I think I'll give this like, if I have to give it a ranking of how I'm feeling, like a solid 8 out of 10. Like I need to see more before I'm fully sold. Although. We don't normally talk about the superhero time bumpers. I love the ones they did for like the ending one.
Yeah, because the subgroups we watch don't normally include them, but Overtime included it with this one, and those were really cute.
Yeah, I love the one where just Ace is like Ace. Tsurumi introduces Ace to Gira, and Gira's just laughing like a madman. And then like everyone is telling him all the dudes are telling him to knock him off, including Rand, but like Rita is just standing there.
Hmm.
That's so weird.
Head empty, no thoughts, only justice.
Yeah, legit. Only I will move the immovable object.
Hmm. Yeah. King-Ohger is very charming so far.
Yeah, I hope it does some good shit later on. I mean, it's already doing good shit right now, but like even more good shit.
They can continue to grow and impress us, King-Ohger.
Yeah, you're on the road to kinghood, and I believe in you.
The road to kingliness is paved with LED screens, I guess.
Yeah. Hey, want to talk about Double's finale?
Yeah, I watched the last 3 episodes of Kamen Rider Double, and I'm just gonna say it. The moment, you all know what I'm talking about. The moment in episode 48. Yeah, I teared up.
Oh, look at Vac being. Oh, he's emotional.
Double's fucking good, man. What can I say? I am both annoyed with myself for having taken this long and glad I took this long, because like it's just nice to have experienced something that is so good that was just lying there waiting for me all this time. Like, we have this tendency as a culture, as fans of things, to get upset and be like, what, you're only just now getting to this thing that I saw years ago, or that I saw when it came out? What's wrong with you? But like, people come to things when they come to them, when they're comfortable, when their interest peaks. And as long as they're still enjoying it, I don't see a problem with that. And that's why I've been trying to watch more classic Toku so far this year, why I watched Jetman, why I watched Double. And it's been pretty rewarding so far. Jetman was really good, and Double was really good. I don't think, like, there's some little niggling bits of it that I wouldn't call it a masterpiece like some people have, but it's a really good show, and you can see why it was basically the template for every writer show following it.
Yeah. What do you think about episode 49? Because I know that's a bit controversial.
So I assume you're just mainly talking about the decision, the change, the last minute change at the end there. Everybody's seen Double except me. We don't have to walk around spoilers. Philip dies in 48, and then he comes back in 49. And I can understand why people would be upset about it, but I also understand why they did it, because like it's like, here's the natural ending of the story, and here's the happy ending for people who can't deal with there not being a happy ending.
And also crossovers.
Yeah, and like I also have to say, like, I would be fine with it if like that actor came back way more often.
He did come back in Forze.
He comes back for the Forze movie, but I don't think he's come back for anything since except like that magazine cover.
Yeah.
And like, I get it. He doesn't want to be typecast as roles like Philip, and he probably doesn't want to be seen as that character for the rest of his life. But also, like, I finished 48 and I was like, oh, it makes a lot of sense that Philip hasn't cropped up in stuff, and they like mainly just use Shotaro as Kamen Rider Joker in like anniversary films and stuff these days. Like, that makes a lot more sense to me now. That's kind of cool, actually. And then I watched it and I was like, oh, okay, I get it, but also that's very silly.
Well, I would like to point out that Philip was scheduled to return for Forever, Heisei for Generations Forever, along with Ryota Nagami as Deno. But some conflicts came up, so they cut his part of the movie.
I didn't know that. That kind of sucks, actually.
Yeah,
oh, man.
Deno coming back is already a huge deal, and I think if Philip came back, you're just like, what?
That movie would have made all of the money in Japan if they got both those boys back in the same movie.
It still was the best grossing Kamen Rider movie, so it still was a pretty big success. So yeah, I do get it. What could have been.
We need. It's too late now to do 10 years after, but can we get like Kamen Rider Double 15 years after?
That's just Futo Tante, man.
True, but like, can we get a fucking Toei Tokusatsu fan club live action special with those actors?
Maybe.
Because Shotaro's actor likes coming back, Axel's actor likes coming back. They just got Akiko's actor back for a thing. Just get them all to bug Phillips' actor. Just do it. Just make it happen, Toei. Come on.
We'll see. Actually, can I talk about my thing before we move on to your second thing?
I told you before the recording I don't want to talk about my second thing because I haven't even opened it yet.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah, so just talk about your thing and then we'll end the show.
All right, I finished Kamen Rider 1971.
How'd you like it?
I'm gonna be honest. The Double Rider stuff, while there's some good shit in it, I don't think it's as good as people were saying. Well, then again, I was like, by the time we got to the Double Rider stuff, I was like, all right, I'm ready for it to wrap up. So it's like, I don't know, like just the fatigue of, because this show gets very monotonous in this, especially during the later half Ichimanga. Once Dr. Death the kind of like pieces out, the show can get very monotonous at times. And also when Hongo returns, I don't think that stuff was as strong. And maybe I'm just so attached, much like Hideo Kojima and Hideaki Anno, I'm just so attached to those first 13 episodes.
Mm-hmm. They are fantastic.
Yeah, and I know some people think they're cheap as shit, but like, no, man. Even if they are cheap as shit, they're good.
They are, but they also are a really great example of how to work with a low budget.
Yeah, that, like, you do some really good location shooting, and the rest of the show has amazing location shooting that we'll just never get again, because, like, Toei has their specific, like, some very beautiful, like, scenes and fights. Like, there's episodes, like, in beaches, episodes in snows, there's very, very pretty locations.
I say it every opportunity I get. Rider needs to have beach and snow fights again. It's so cool and so unique, and it has such a great aesthetic to it that I really do miss from, like, Showa and early Heisei.
If you want to see, like, a lot of forest fights, Hibiki, trust me. Like, early half Hibiki is, like, has a lot of fun location shooting, like, in forest and natural environments. And actually part of the reason why they had to do the production switch is because they kept shooting too much in, like, non-city areas, and it was just inflating the budget. Yeah, the Double Rider stuff, there's some... let me freaking look at my notes. But yeah, I really did dig this show, despite how monotonous it can get. It never really, like... It always wore its heart on its sleeve. And, like, I do recommend skipping around. But if there's an episode that interests you, either for a concept or a monster, I'd suggest going for it. Actually, a very famous episode in these later half is episode 84... which was directed by Ishinomori himself, and it's like one of the best ones of the later half.
Oh, cool.
So I really like, if you even just, it's a good standalone, like, here is modern Rider. If you want to see where the episodes where the freaking, the human life is better than Peace and Justice clip, human life is even more important than Peace and Justice, screenshot comes from, that's episodes 91 through 94. And also one of my favorite episodes is 46 for the Snow Mountain Brawl. So those are just some, like, episodes I like. Also, episode 60 has a cool owl man. So,
How'd you feel about the Christmas episode?
Oh, that's episode 39. Well, I liked it a lot. It was very wholesome, and it's also like the Zol's downfall was like pretty good. I mean, Zol does come back later on. I think, does he come back later on? Yeah, he does come back later on to team up with Ambassador Hell. Like, just to, like, because he just kind of pieces out for a while. He doesn't die until much later. And, like, and another thing that kind of surprised me, the original Recipe Shocker dies in 79. Like, and then, like, 80 onward uses Gel Shocker, which is basically the remnants of original Recipe Shocker.
So it's like, the end of the show is them fighting neo-Nazis.
Yeah, it's pretty, Oh, yeah, and also, like, I know I talked about it, like, earlier, but, like, I still think episodes, I think it was 6 and 7, the one about the Nazi treasure, is still, like, my favorite episodes of the show.
Oh, yeah,
like,
those episodes are great.
Yeah, like, with how, like, they kind of it's kind of, like, feels very much what, like, this is what Ishinomori wanted Kamen Rider to be, and, like, it kind of paved the way for more social commentary down the line with stuff like Black Sun and, other shows. I'm slipping off the tongue. Like, I could see, like, oh, Ishinomori, like, if Ishinomori, like, he was, like, involved in those episodes, he would love Black Sun, from what I know about him in his manga. I also, like, went back and read Skullman. I already read it a while ago, but I reread it for, like, researching this video, and yeah, it was certainly a first draft. Like, Skullman is really weird, because it's, like, it is known for being the prototype for Kamen Rider, but it's kind of evolved into its own thing, and I find it like very interesting. I do want to like cover everything else Skullman. There's never been a Skullman Tokusatsu, but it did get a revival manga in the 90s, which I have been reading and loving.
Yeah.
Like I do like that 90s manga. It actually used to have an English printing, but that has since gone delisted, so I've been using other means. I say covering up one eye like an eye patch.
You
And
got
there
those
has
special methods going on.
yeah, and there was an anime series if you want to like look into it. So there's just a lot of Skullman, a lot of Kamen Rider and I'm glad I was able to
throw out the one thing that I kind of know about Skullman. Did you know that Kamen Rider Skull is a direct homage to Skullman?
Yes. It's kind of obvious, mate. Gonna be real. Yeah, but like I'm glad I was able to finally watch this, knock it off the bucket list before Shin Kamen Rider comes out. I kind of felt like I should have just watched the first 13 episodes though, because it's like I like the rest. I love Ichimonji. I love like Tachibana. I especially love Taki. But like, man, to watch this new movie, I probably should have just watched the first like 50 episodes or so.
True, but also now you can lord over the fact that you've seen all of the original series to a bunch of people.
True, and I am writing a video about it, which should come out sometime before
In
Shin
the
Kamen
not
Rider.
too distant future.
I want to get it out before Shin Kamen Rider comes to theaters, which is on the 15th. So like before next week I'll get it out, and I'm already like well into scripting it. So stay tuned, fellas.
All right, bud. Well, we're basically at the end of the show, so why don't you tell people where they can find that video when it comes out?
On the Buster Corp YouTube channel. We just did a Don Brothers wrap up. If you want to like basically get my full like completed thoughts on Don Brothers as it is, as it's finished. More video. I don't know what the next video is. It's probably 1971 because that's just what I'm working on right now. But also if you want to see me ramble about writing the next video, Twitter at BusterBlue3, Tumblr at Busters Corp, other places. Read my comic on itch.io, or just donate to the Patreons and shit if you want to see more of it. I don't know. Do the things. Click the buttons. Dox Jeff Keighley. No, actually don't dox Jeff Keighley. I don't know why I said that.
I think I remember who Jeff Keighley is, but also I thought you were going to say Jeff Bezos for a second there.
I mean, do dox him. He's a bastard.
Yeah. Hey everybody, if you like videos about things and stuff, well, hey, great, I make those. Go watch them at the Vacuuminator on YouTube. Like, comment, subscribe, and all that. Also, I have a TikTok now where I'm posting clips of my older videos. And that's actually popping off pretty well, so if you want to contribute to that, it's _Vacuuminator, and I also do action figure photography on the regular over on Instagram at _Vacuuminator, and if you just want to hear all my dumb thoughts on things and stuff that's happening on the internet throughout the day, follow me on Twitter at @TheVacuuminator and on Tumblr, thevacuuminator.tumblr.com. But folks, that's it for this week in Tokusatsu. We'll see you back here next week for whatever happens that week in Tokusatsu.